Well, good afternoon from the Flying Can Ranch, and the heck's going on with my hair? At any rate, you'll understand why in a minute. Good afternoon, welcome to the Flying Can Ranch in Athens, Texas. So, I've had a little life-changing event that took effect this last Friday, so we'll move on from there. So, technically, I'm retired. I'm 68, I have my Social Security and that, but I'm not really retired because I want to get some things done around here, one of which I was trying to do today with an epic fail. And then I'll find something locally for 3, 4 days a week, whatever, to supplement my income. So, that being said, I worked with some wonderful, wonderful guys for right around 20 years, 22 years, and learned a lot. Had some interesting adventures, but it was time to move on. Now, before we go any further with this video, I want to say I am not an expert on archery in any way, fashion. I have had very little experience, very, very little experience. So, that being said, let's move forward. If one would remember, year or so ago, I did a thing called the air javelin, which looked like this, and it had a little port in the back here where you could take one of these arrows and put it on that thing and just drop it down in there until it clicked. There's a trick to it, but you got to make it click to make sure it's in there all the way, or it would fall right out. So I reviewed that. And that thing did about around 300 feet per second. I put that little red dot on it, and it wasn't too bad. Had a little fold out stock, very light, loud as all get out. Later on, they made a thing that looked just like this called the Air Javelin Pro, and it put out about 370 feet per second. But I believe it worked on the same thing. You put I've got the little adapter in there, but you could actually put a 88 gram, or you could buy a thing that held 2 CO2s in it and cook away with that if need be. Now, that being said, and I've lost some of the parts of this, well, a part, I'll find it, but I'll tell you what it is. And I don't have the caps on the scope, but what we have here is an Air Saber. Hold on a second, I better swear over the top of me. Maybe not. So this is an Air Saber, and this is the Air Saber Elite 2, the Umarex Air Saber Elite 2. And you're just gonna have to bear with me. I'm kind of tired. I'm very, very sore today. So we'll come down it this way, and we'll come down here. You can see it's got rails all the way around here for your lights or your bipods. And then we'll come down and you'll see that you can accommodate 2 arrows on the end of that. And we'll flip it around, and we'll show it to you this way. We'll just come down it, come down it, come down it, and back to the business end of the product. I'm sorry. Told you, not really with it today. And again, when have I ever been? So, the Umarex Air Javelin Pro Elite, the Umarex Air Saber Elite 2. Now this is a PCP gun, as you can tell by there. And they say this thing kicks an arrow out at about 450 feet per second. And that's true. And if you buy a backdrop, which I had to do, you're going to have to get one. And we'll go over this in the shooting review. I don't know if I'll get to it today or not. But you're going to have one that is 450 plus. I've got one that was 350, but I stuck an arrow in it so tight I never could get it back out. but we'll go over that. The barrel length is 21.50. The overall length is 42.50. And the overall weight is 8.70 pounds. It is not light. Now, this thing charges to 4,000 psi or 276 bar on a 240 cc tank. And I think that would be a real workout on a hand pump, I'm here to tell you. They say you get 25 shots for a fill. Now, most things I've watched about it say after about 6 shots, she'll start dropping pretty significantly. I'm just telling you what I heard. It does come with this Axion right here, scope, archery scope. And it's got the, all the horizontal lines that, you know, one here and then a little tighter, you know, the next reticle shorter and the next reticle shorter, and that's your yardage adjustment. I got it to work. I read some reviews on this for people who have problems with it. So let's go down the line. Now, just like the other one, we'll start here. It's got a good meaty butt pad to it. Very solid stock. There's some good stippling right into here. And pretty decent stippling all the way up the form to where you run into your weaver type rails. So here you'll see this little button. If I push that all the way to the left, where it pollutes out the left side like it is here, that's going to come shoot the left hand of the barrel. When you push it all the way the other way, you go the right hand side of the barrel, and if you accidentally leave it in the middle, I've seen where it launches both arrows at once, but I imagine pretty poorly. So there are no sights on this, so I used the came with scope. And I had to do a lot of research on how to sight this contraption in because, again, I'm not much of an archery guy. Now, just like on the original, where you've got the 2 ports here, you can just, and make sure the gun is not cocked when you do this, and the safety is play. Make sure. You can take an arrow and then you can, this side is a little tighter than the other side. You just slide it on down till it stops. And then you take the other arrow and you slide it on down until it stops. And it will look something like this. Now, on the opposite side of the gun is your cocking lever. So there's the side cocking lever. We are not going to cock this right now since we're live. So we'll put that back. This kind of has a nice little roller end on it. So it's very easy to use. It's very smooth. And they say it ramps out about, it just goes 450 feet per second, but it's powerful. But I'm going to tell you right now, this thing is loud. It's very, 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 very loud. This is not backyard friendly. As a matter of fact, the times I've had shot it, even though I'm not within city limits, I'm kind of waiting to see if the sheriff's department shows up. So bear that in mind. It does have a nice, clean, crisp. Says it has a non-adjustable trigger. Breaks off at about 3 pounds. I was very pleased with the trigger. Very easy to handle. But again, it's very, very loud, and it hits. It hits really good. Now, I was able to get 2 arrows very close together on the target, almost in the zero, point of center. I bought a thing that you could kind of screw in the end of one of the arrows or the bolt or whatever you call it, put a laser out so you could kind of adjust it, but that did not turn out so well, so I just used another guy's method. Now, I don't remember, I'll tell you in a second, it might tell you on the box. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm going to go riding today or not. It does come with 3 of the arrows. I bought the package where you get the scope and the whole 9 yards. No, it does not tell you on here what the weight of these arrows are. But you can, these are definitely just a target type arrow. I'll show you something. We're going to pull these out of here momentarily. We'll just put them over here. And these are so many ounce or whatever arrow. Let's set this back over here. So with these arrows provided, most anybody would know this. See, these are hollow on the end. Is you can unscrew this right here, and then you can put your whatever field tips on the end. But bear in mind, this is going to change the weight of your arrow. So then you're going to have to resight it. So, you know, again, I don't remember what the exact weight of these are, but that's how it is. There's not much more I can tell you about this this particular gun. I got a little wind out there today, so I don't know if I'm going to try to do the shooting review today or hold off till tomorrow. Plus, I've been waiting for a neighbor to leave. I am a little courteous, so I try to make sure they're not around when I'm having at it with this, especially if the kids are over there with them. That's just the way I am. But it's loud. My girlfriend came home, and she was standing next to me when I cut this thing loose, and she flipped. She said, "Oh, you should have warned me, because it's loud." But it's a lot of fun. It was a little frustrating. Again, it doesn't. These don't work like a bullet. The drop on them is much different, and they're much more sensitive to wind flow. You know, bullets and pellets, you know, they shoot a distinctive straight arc. Now, the wind will affect them, don't get me wrong. Anybody that's done a lot of shooting would know that, but these are much more susceptible to that, and you got to get used to it. My opinion, could you drop a deer with this? I have no doubt you probably could. I don't hunt anymore. I have a guy that I've done business with in the past. I might loan it to him, see if he can drill some hogs with it, if he chooses to do so. But there you be. That's the Umarex Air Saber Elite 2 PCP rifle. Now, I didn't bring this box with me, but it came with a bunch of O-rings, and it came with a fill probe. And it also has a little cap. I couldn't find it. There's a cap that clips over the end of this. It's got a little hole in the bottom, or you could probably tie it to something on this gun so you don't lose it like I did. It's in the house. I just put it someplace, but I don't remember where I put it. But it's critical you keep that cap, because when you're storing this, you're transporting it, that keeps all the dirt and all the garbage out of it. So without anything more to say, we'll get this loaded up, and then if I get a chance, I will put together a shooting review either today or tomorrow. That's the way we do it at the Flying Can Ranch. And like I said, you'll have to excuse my enthusiasm. Everything on me hurts. I was kind of on the ground fixing something on a bike. I've been rolling around trying to get this tab to move off this mower, and the suggestions I have won't make it move because I'm trying to put a new belt on it. And I did some riding the day before. I did some riding yesterday, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that today or not. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do about putting together a shooting review. That's what you do at the Flying Can Ranch in Athens, Texas. I will catch you later.